Okay, this is grammar lesson number 26, chapter 16, when something happens. So we've already learned this word. This word is called toki, and it's used to describe when something happens or has happened. We use this as a time signifier, time reference word previously. So usually sentence A, the one that is a precursor to the word toki, is a time reference, and the main event is sentence B. So it just tells us when B occurs. Now here's example. 私は学校に行くとき、頑張って勉強しました。Okay, so let's take a look at this sentence a little bit more. Notice that sentence A isn't a short form, and that's always going to be the case. And this sentence A is always going to change tenses. And we'll talk about more about that in just a second. So if A is current or has not happened yet, you use the present tense. And then if A has already taken place, then you would use the past tense. Now, meaning that if action B needs to take place before A can occur, and so on, so forth. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, and I don't want to confuse you all until you look at the grammar lessons. Okay, so present tense in A. At the time that main event B takes place, if A is current or has not happened yet, then you're going to use the present tense for A. So, I will reserve a room when I go to Japan. 日本に行くとき、部屋を予約します. So obviously, you cannot have A before you have B. B has to happen first and then A can happen. So in this case, A would have to be in the present tense, like so. Okay, and as a rule of thumb, please keep in mind which activity has occurred first. We already saw that in the example. So in order A to happen, B has to occur first. If the events took place in the past, even though it's in the past, you would still just change B in past tense, but then A would still say in present tense. And that's something that's interesting to note. Okay, so 日本に行くとき部屋を予約しました. So this translates to I reserved a room when I was going to go to Japan. So this is in past tense when you write it in English, but in Japanese you keep it present tense. Because technically B has to happen first before A can occur, so we just keep it consistent here. And this is the only part you manipulate. Okay, let's look at examples. 寝るとき歯を磨きます. Once again, think about what happens first. So which one is A? This is A. So it's saying, when I go to sleep, I brush my teeth. 買い物に行くときお金を持って行きました. Once again, when you go shopping, you will need to carry money. So you don't go, you need to bring the money first and then go shopping. So once again, B happens first before A. Let me just backtrack a little bit. It's just a rule of thumb. For these, keep in mind, you might want to think of it as if it's an action word, then you need to think about what happens first and then what happens later. And that'll probably clarify things for you. Okay, so when event A and B occur at the same time, you use the present tense for both. Now, this is kind of common sense. So here's an example. 寂しいとき、友達に電話します. So when I'm lonely, I call my friends. So both actions are happening at the same time. You're also feeling lonely, but you're also calling your friends as well. For non-adjectives, you keep the dictionary form with the na on it. So 元気なとき、歌を歌います. So when I am energetic, I sing a song. For nouns, you add no before a time. This you should already know. We had once where we were explaining like 子供の時, like when I was a child. Okay, same thing. So 夏休みの時、本を週に2冊読めます. So during summer break, or when it is summer break, I can read 2 books in a week. Now let's look at past tense. So at the time of the main event, B, if A is already in the past, you will write A in the past tense. So this means that this is interesting because even if the actions haven't taken place yet, they can still be written in this manner. So let's take a look. So A has to occur before B can occur. This is the opposite from what we saw with the present tense in A. So 日本に行った時寿司を食べました. In order for you to eat sushi, you have to have gone to Japan. So in this case, this part is always in past tense. When I went to Japan, I ate sushi. This should be when I went to Japan, I ate sushi. Sorry, shouldn't say eat. So go ahead and correct that. So the second one, 日本にいた時寿司を食べます. Now, this has not happened yet, but they're saying that when I do go to Japan, I will eat sushi. But in order for you to eat sushi, you have to have gone there. So that's why this is in past tense. Even though it hasn't occurred yet, you're using the past tense here for A. So let's look at examples. 寝た時夢を見ます. 夢 is dream. So when I go to sleep, I see a dream. Okay, once again, in order for you to get a dream, you need to sleep first. 買い物に行った時、本をたくさん買いました. Okay, so when I went shopping, I bought a lot of books. So in order for you to buy a lot of books, you have to have gone shopping. Okay, so let's take a look. Create a sentence by finishing each of the sentences. Write the Japanese translation. I am going to be going over this in class, so please, please, please make sure you get this part done. And then we're going to work on the sentences as well. Textbook pages as well. And then make sure you make 3 additional sentences. If you could write this on a separate sheet of paper or just turn in your notes so I can see them, that would be awesome. If not, just make sure you have it on some kind of sheet of paper and just turn in just a paper without your grammar lesson notes. Either or is fine. If you have any questions, let me know. And this is our grammar lessons that we're going to be focused on this week. So just make sure you don't forget it after spring break as well. Guys, you're doing a great job and keep up the good work.